All right, welcome everyone. Welcome YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and welcome Twitter. And let's get our websites up here. And okay, I think we're good to go here. So welcome this evening. We are coming out of our spring. I don't know what it is, what to call it, but it's kind of our spring slash, late springish after Easter type thing, getting towards the graduations and things like that. Um, so, and usually in the bookstore, we are having sales, and we're past the Christmas rush, and we're having some nice sales, not giveaways, but we're definitely making it attractive for people to buy books. And of course, it's always a good time to buy books. I don't think there's really a bad time to buy books. But anyway, so we've got our stores up here. We're also on biblio.com and and AbeBooks, and we're also on Whatnot now, which I should give you that address as well. Let me get that going for you here too, so you have all the info. So tonight we're going to read a chapter out of Agatha Christie's Sleeping Murder. We've been going through this book since the winter, and I'm coming tonight to you from my mother's house in her office because she is ill and I am here staying overnight. I'm doing the night shift. So, but she's doing much, much better and getting much more independent than she was. So I think she'll probably be kicking us out of here pretty soon, most likely, once she gets tired of us, which is happening already. But that's normal, so it's a good thing. So, so not too much is going on. We have 25% off in the stores on eBay and Whatnot is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. We'll be on there from 6 to 10. If you're not a Whatnot user or buyer, you better get over there because there are some great deals. And we have some very nice Lincoln books that are going to be on auction tomorrow night. So if you're an Lincoln / Civil War aficionado, that's the place to be. So, um, but they have everything on Whatnot, not just books. They have a lot of other things too. So um, we're gonna start tonight on. Let's see, what chapter are we on? We're on chapter 9 and like a half. So I'm gonna finish out chapter 9. And then let's see how long this one is. We might go through half of chapter 10 if my throat holds out. I have a terrible cough, so I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. Um, so we're going to start right in. So this is one of the a little bit creepier Agatha Christie novels. And this particular one is about a couple that moves into a house on the coast of England, and the wife just has like this really bad deja vu of a murder that she saw as a child, and she just cannot figure out what's going on. And we're kind of getting into the meaty part of it right now. So, and this is also a Miss Marple mystery if you're familiar with those. So, Gwenda was afraid that tea might prove a difficult meal, but Miss Marple fortunately seemed not to notice that her hostess talked a little too fast and too feverishly, and that her gaiety was somewhat forced. Miss Marple herself was gently garrulous. Garrulous. She was enjoying her stay in Dilmouth so much, and wasn't it exciting? Some friends of hers and had written to her to friends of theirs in Dilmouth, and as a result she had received some very pleasant invitations from the local residents. One feels so much less of an outsider, if you know what I mean, my dear, if one gets to know some of the people who have been established here for years. For instance, I am going to tea with Mrs. Fane. She is the widow of the senior partner in the best firm of solicitors here, quite an old-fashioned family firm. Her son is carrying it on now. The gentle, gossiping voice went on. Her landlady was so kind and made her so comfortable, and really delicious cooking. She was for some years with my old friend Mrs. Bantry, although she does not come from this part of the world herself. Her aunt lived here for many years, and she and her husband used to come here for holidays, so she knows a great deal of local gossip. Do you find your gardener satisfactory, by the way? I hear that he is considered locally as rather a scrimshanker, more talk than work. Talk and tea is his specialty, said Giles. He has about 5 cups of tea a day, but he works splendidly when we are looking. Come out and see the garden, said Gwenda. They showed her the house and the gardens, and Miss Marple made the proper comments. If Gwenda had feared her shrewd observation of something amiss, then Gwenda was wrong, for Miss Marple showed no conscience, no cognizance of anything unusual, yet strangely enough it was Gwenda who acted in an unpredictable manner. She interrupted Mrs. Marple in the midst of a little anecdote about a child and a seashell to say breathlessly to Giles, I don't care. I'm going to tell her. Miss Marple turned her head attentively. Giles started to speak, then stopped. Finally he said, Well, it's your funeral, Gwenda, and so Gwenda poured it all out. Their call on Dr. Kennedy and his subsequent call on them and what he had told them. That was what you meant in London, wasn't it? Gwenda asked breathlessly. You thought then that my father might be involved? Miss Marple said gently. It occurred to me as a possibility, yes. Helen might very well be a young stepmother, and in the case of strangling, it's so often a husband who is involved. Miss Marple spoke as one who observed natural phenomena about surprise or emotion. I do see why you urged us to leave it alone, said Gwenda. Oh, and I wish now we had, but no one can go back. No, said Miss Marple, one can't go back. And now you better listen to Giles. He's making objections and suggestions. All I say is, said Giles, that it isn't fit. It doesn't fit. And lucidly, clearly, he went over the points as he had outlined them to Gwenda. Then he particularized his final theory. If you'll only convince Gwenda that that's the only way it could have happened, it could have been. Miss Marple's eyes went from him to Gwenda and back again. It is a perfectly reasonable hypothesis, she said, but there is always, as you yourself pointed out, Mr. Reed, the possibility of X. X, said Gwenda. The unknown factor, said Miss Marple. Someone, shall we say, who hasn't appeared yet, but whose presence, beyond the obvious facts, can be deduced. We're going to the sanatorium in excuse me, in Norfolk, where my father died, said Gwenda. Perhaps we'll find out something there. Sorry, still have this cough. I think I'm going to leave it there tonight, as my cough seems like it's going to get worse. So we're going to leave it there tonight. Sorry, I'm cutting it short, but I'm going to have to. I think I need another week to get this under control. So you guys, excuse me, have a great week. And I hope that we're all back here next Monday. Hopefully in my own home, but I might still be here. I just don't know. And we will talk to you then. I really hope you are able to come out to the Whatnot tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. I put the link here in the comments if you guys need it. And I think that's probably about it for tonight. Hopefully my cough will be better. I just don't want to cough up a lung in your guys' ears. So, alrighty. So I will see you next week. It's hopefully closer to 7:30. And I hope you can join us. Good night.